Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday the 18th, 2021, and it is freaking cold here in the DC area. I mean, literally. A few days ago, I'm in short sleeves and shorts, and now I'm in turtlenecks and sweatpants. Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but when it gets cold, my whole body contracts because I don't like it. It's like my body's trying to protect itself from this anything getting in. So what happens to me is my breathing becomes more shallow because I'm literally restricting and locking my body down. So I have to pay attention, literally pay attention to my breath. And, breath is energy. Breath is everything. Without it, nothing would be at all. Amazing. One simple thing. Breath is energy. Breath is life, right? So it's our life force, right? So I am going to be kicking off a few videos on my Breathe and Believe series here. So you're hearing it first. So I sign a lot of my documents, Breathe and Believe. And so I thought, okay, guys, what do we want to do with this? So I was simply working with breath this morning, and they're like, oh no, you need to do a little series out here, like a 1, 2, and 3 or something, and later make it something else. But for now, staying in the present moment, we're going to talk about breath. Okay. So if you actually believe that your breath is your life force, then you're going to take this video seriously. All right. So we know that breathing is the energy, right? So it ramps up oxygenation throughout the body. So as it ramps up oxygenation throughout the body, we can't live without oxygen throughout the body, right? It also stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. And that is the component of the nervous system that calms things. And when it calms things, it slows the heart rate down, which also slows the release of the stress hormones. Those hormones that are fight and flight, that create angst, shortness of breath, lack of sleep, overstimulated brain, and fat, F-A-T, folks. So if any of you have been or have put on severe lbs, just a few, since COVID, I like to call it COVID. So if you ever saw the, what is it, up Schitt's Creek? Davad. She'd always call him Davad instead of David. So I always say like COVID because I'm a nutcase, right? So I'm always making up words and how to say them, and it keeps me in laughter. Laughter expands the lungs. It releases all these amazing cascade of beautiful hormones for calming and relaxation and shaking things off. And it's freaking contagious. It's contagious because the more I laugh, the more I want to laugh. And people are around me, they'll laugh a lot. And so laughter is a great way to work on your breath. So, when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of television. There was one TV in the house. Usually my dad was on it for sports. But us 5 siblings would gather around to watch a few shows, but my mom contained it. We had to be outside running in fresh air and sunshine. But when the days were not so sunny and bright outside, we 5 siblings would be in the house. And of course, we always had stuff we had to do, chores, because idle hands were the workshop. because you couldn't sit still and actually think and feel for yourself. So remember, that's the way the generation before that taught this, busy, busy, busy. So what would us siblings do? We would get ridiculously silly, and we would get the giggles or laughing hysterically over what nobody else would understand outside of our realm. They just wouldn't. They just wouldn't. Especially me. Because first off, I'm so empathic, I pick up on other people's stuff. And then sometimes in order to let it go as a child, instead of containing that and having that be stuck in my body because I wasn't taught how to filter it through. So when I would pick up other people's energies, I would think of something, whatever, and it would become a mini comedy skit. And then I would start laughing, and I would just bust out laughing to the point where I couldn't breathe. And then what would happen around me is people would start laughing, and they'd be like, what are we laughing about? What's so funny? I would laugh so hard. I couldn't speak, to tell them what I was laughing about. And then when I would, sober up in my laughter and be able to speak, they'd be like, that isn't even funny. Like, what is wrong with you? Oh my gosh. But that is how I learned to filter all the incoming energies, was through this and then through my breath. And I didn't even know I was doing it. And this is the beauty of getting in touch with the inner child and the breath of the inner child and the belief and the believing of the inner child. And just get ridiculous. So, if your breath is energy and it has the power to stimulate at the same time calm and produce all these cascade of happiness throughout the body that leads to this laughter, right? Through the breath, right? You're expanding the breath through this laughter, and it's contagious. How freaking powerful is that? How powerful is that? Yeah, you couldn't put enough money in a jar for it. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, folks. So, I used to say things like watch a comedy show or do things to induce laughter. However, what I know now as a grown-up on the subliminal messages through music, through colors, through words that television programming has in it, I don't recommend it. However, there's other ways to get laughter, right? Getting together with friends and just talk about some stuff that's just so ridiculously irrelevant to certain things. And remember, every single time we inhale, our diaphragm through our stomach, it contracts down. So it's moving out of the way, but at the same time, it's pulling the breath in so that the lungs have room to expand down, expand up. And then when we exhale, the diaphragm is relaxing. So the action is to release, and I love to release through the mouth because it just gives one more abdominal action. So pause. Okay. You can do it every which way you want. Practice with it. Have fun with it. Be the fun of it. Spread it to everyone. I just had someone tell me the other day when I was being silly, a couple hours later, they go, well, grow up and do this. And I'm like, don't ever tell me to grow up. Because that implies I can't be silly. That implies that my humor is so childish and ridiculous. That's what it implies. So I just tossed it right back. Just boom, right back. Take that back. Take it back. I just don't accept it. I also said, I will be silly and goofy till the day I pass my last breath in this physical vehicle. If someone took laughter away, I'd have to, I know words, folks, because I don't think they can. But the way things are rolling out right now about wanting to have control of a lot of things, and starting with the control of your persons and what you want to take in and out of your body, is slowly being tapped on those rights, okay? So instead of feeding into a lot of that and getting more clarity, it requires breath. And breath is everything. And it also clears things so that you can respond in more creative ways to help yourself and help others. Laugh your asses off. Pee your pants. Just do it. Just like, see, for me, I'm telling you, I should have been on stage as a comedian or something really stupid, because it's like, this is how my body and my brain work. And then when things are starting to get restrictive around me, right? It's my empathic response, so that nothing gets stuck, that I can laugh with it. Not laughing it off, as in certain things don't have importance. That's not it. But see, all energy has to come through the physical body. It must. It must. Okay? So as we are expanding out from this shell, this box of how we've been programmed to think, feel, and do, which is what the timelines we're in now, is get the hell out of there. So it's like, it's not like the ceilings are sinking, because they are, but at the same time we're just opening them up. We're just versus going all the way down with them, because we're here to expand, to evolve as humanity is meant to do. Whatever dimension density you want to call it. Laugh about it. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Get that abdominal area going. Breathe and believe. Breathe and believe. I believe in you as you believe in me, which is why I appreciate this finger, usually this one. Take it down, subscribe, hit all, like the video, share the video, and get everybody breathing and believing. Everybody out there laughing with your breath, cascading this. And then guess what? When someone's got a fan and shit's flying places, you're like, ding, ding, ding. You're just laughing it off, because you're like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because Your immunity is different when you can breathe, believe, and you have laughter with it. So then you're letting everything filter all over. Make it fun. Make it fun. All right?